The first explosion sounded like thunder, but thunder does not shake the windows of an entire city. That night, Tehran did not sleep. Sirens screamed across the skyline. Car alarms cried into the dark, and somewhere above the clouds, machines carried fire. People would later say the war began before midnight. But for Laleh Rahimi, the war began the moment she heard his voice again. The return. Laleh worked nights at the hospital. Tehran never truly slept, but hospitals especially did not. The emergency ward smelled of antiseptic, coffee, and quiet desperation. She was finishing paperwork when the first sirens began. At first, no one moved. Iran had lived with tension for years. Warnings came and went like dust storms, but then the lights flickered, and the building trembled. Doctors looked at each other. Someone whispered the word no one wanted to say. Airstrike. Across the city, Reza stood on a rooftop watching the sky. He had returned to Tehran 3 days earlier. No one knew he was there. Officially, he had never come back. Reza used to be a soldier, then an intelligence officer, then something else entirely, something quieter, more dangerous. And tonight, he was waiting for the night the city would burn. The city changes. The second explosion was closer. Windows shattered across the street. Patients began arriving within minutes. Burn victims, glass wounds, shock. The emergency room turned into chaos. Laleh moved automatically, hands steady, voice calm. But her heart hammered with a memory she tried for years to forget, because war had already taken someone from her once. Reza. 3 years earlier, he had vanished without explanation. No goodbye, no explanation, just absence. In Tehran, absence often meant death. Laleh mourned him like a ghost, until tonight. Her phone vibrated in her pocket, a number she didn't recognize. She almost ignored it. Then the message appeared. Leave the hospital. Her breath stopped. Another message followed. Now, please. Only one man ever used that word with her. Please. The reunion. She found him outside the hospital, standing beneath a streetlight as sirens wailed in the distance. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The years between them collapsed into silence. You're alive, she whispered. Reza nodded. And you came back, she said. Another explosion lit the sky orange behind him. I never left, he said quietly. He pulled her into the shadows of a nearby alley. Not romantic, urgent. The city was unraveling. Laleh, listen to me, he said. This isn't just an attack. Something bigger is happening tonight. What do you mean? His eyes searched the street. They're targeting command centers, communications, infrastructure. She stared at him. You sound like you're part of it. Reza didn't answer, and that silence told her everything. Fire in the sky. The third explosion came from the northern district. A fireball rose into the sky. Tehran glowed red. Cars clogged the streets. Families ran. The city was breaking. Reza grabbed her hand. You have to leave the city. I can't, she said. My patients, they'll move them, he said. But you won't survive what's coming next. She looked at him. You knew this would happen. Reza didn't deny it. For a moment, anger burned hotter than the fires in the sky. You disappeared, she said. You let me think you were dead. His voice was low. I was protecting you. From what? From knowing the truth. Another missile struck somewhere in the distance. The ground trembled. Dust fell from nearby buildings. Reza pulled her inside an abandoned shop. The air smelled like smoke. I came back to get you, he said. Why? Because tonight, Tehran changes forever. She studied his face. The same eyes, the same voice, but something darker lived behind them now. What did you do? She asked. Reza hesitated. Then he answered, I helped them plan the attack. Silence filled the room. Outside, sirens wailed like mourning. You betrayed your country, she said. I saved it. How? By ending the war faster. The escape. They ran through dark streets. Power had failed across much of the city. Tehran glowed only with fire. Reza knew shortcuts, hidden roads, safe places, too many safe places. Laleh realized something terrifying. He had been preparing for this night for years. They reached the outskirts of the city just before dawn. The sky behind them burned red. Tehran looked like a wounded giant. For a moment, they stood in silence. Then she asked the question she feared most. What happens now? Reza looked at the horizon. Now, the real war begins. The confession. The road was empty. Smoke drifted across the mountains. Reza turned to her. Laleh, there's something else. She felt her stomach tighten. What? I didn't just come back for you. He handed her a small device, a satellite phone. Someone needs to tell the world what happened tonight. She stared at him. Why me? His answer was simple. Because you still believe the truth matters. Final stand. Behind them, Tehran continued to burn. Missiles flashed across the sky like falling stars. Laleh looked back at the city she loved, then at the man she once loved. You started this war, she said. No, Reza replied quietly. I only lit the match. And as the sun rose over the mountains, the fires of Tehran still burned. Because some nights change history, and some nights destroy it. And this was the night Tehran burned.